What does he want to say to you? What kind of message does he or she have for you? Why might he be in retreat? What is his secret? What has he kept from you? What does he want to tell you? What is on his mind? What is occupying him or her, as mentioned? And today we will look into the energy. There are always moments or phases, situations where you don't know what's going on, what's really going on. What was that between us? Why is there nothing now? Why is it different now? What is there? Or you might say, yes, how will it continue at all? Is anything happening at all? Is he closed off or is she closed off? And you might hear something and think it doesn't fit him or her at all. And maybe when you ask the person, your counterpart, if you ask, it comes, oh, nothing, it's fine, everything's okay. Or there's no reaction, no answer, nothing. So, and then you naturally have question marks and you want to know, and it might occupy your mind the whole day. Over days, right? Or maybe even months, who knows? My dear ones, a very, very warm love hello. Feel warmly and tightly hugged by me. We are now tapping into the energy and looking into what's going on with your counterpart, what he or she wants to tell you. We are in the collective. It can't resonate with everyone. You know that. And the person cards are gender neutral. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your kindness, your lovely, wonderful comments that you always show me. It is so wonderful. It touches me so deeply. You are wonderful, each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. And a warm welcome again to all new channel members. And also, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your loyalty here on my channel, for the trust you place in me. And for everyone who is new here, a warm welcome. Nice to have you here. So my dears, let's take a look now at what's going on. And let's see. So then we'll take another tendency. Yes, so we already have the star. And the star, what is perhaps mainly originally going on with your counterpart? The topic is a new upswing. The new upswing might still be stuck with some kind of misconception. And for some, it's also about a separation. Here is this confusion, the despair. Or he wants your counterpart to come out again. Because that's the energy being shown here. It's about hope, happiness. The happiness is there and it will continue positively. It will become happy again in serenity. And what is the topic when we look at what is still in between and in which direction we are heading? What is definitely shown as new appearances? Then we take a look, but there. What do we have coming here? Okay. Yes. So your counterpart, we have the Nine of Wands, closed off. He is currently unreachable, absolutely in a defensive stance. And there he is in power with himself, the one in the counterpart. And he might also feel overwhelmed by situations, by his actions. He is very cautious and he is completely in this defensive stance. Defensive stance, no, just don't let anything get to me. But I also see him very, very tired and exhausted. As I said, very closed off, unreachable. And he goes into a complete defensive stance. And that is also this, as you can see so nicely here, this, yes, this fear. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I have to put up my protective shield now so that nothing else gets in. And there, as I said, the defensive stance is shown very, very clearly. And yes, then we have the Eight of Wands. Choose. For your counterpart, it's about, well, currently this standstill, this absolute chaos is visible. And there is this delay. So you are trying to push everything away to delay. But it's about resolving this defensive stance, new upswing. Here, it's about messages. So there, it has been a very long time. So I would say the longest time now after this collective reading, the longest time that your counterpart is at a distance in this defensive stance, we are now close to the goal, this point that he or she reaches. Yes, it's about messages, that there is a development, that there is a reorientation. That's it. Something is at work here. And it is close to the goal for reorientation. It's about change here. Your counterpart wants to come out of the standstill here, so out of this powerlessness, out of this defensive stance. And as I said, push everything away into change, into reorientation. And it can also happen very quickly here. So if it has perhaps dragged on for quite some time now and nothing progressed, nothing happened, and you think, oh my God, I have no hope left. Nothing is happening anymore. And you are actually like this. You have lost hope. You are already on the verge of giving up, and giving up, not spending, on the verge of giving up and saying no, the way the current situation is. Nothing can develop further. But here it is shown, it's about reorientation, definitely a change. And here your counterpart comes into action. And it can also happen very quickly that the knot breaks. So I would say the biggest part, the longest path has already been taken here. And it can really get quite turbulent, so quite quickly, quite hastily as well. So now let's see what else we have. Get more details. What is really going on there? Why this distance, this defensive attitude? Yes, your counterpart is absolutely troubled here because they know it was about a decision. It was a wrong decision that your counterpart made. Distrust towards you has also shown distrust towards you. He might not have been able to fully trust you, couldn't let himself go, but that has nothing to do with you. These are his issues from his past. He tries to push everything away. And issues from the past are also something we can handle. Being parents, but it doesn't necessarily have to involve other people in his environment. Your counterpart is here, that he says when you perhaps had contact with each other, another person repeatedly took the lead. It could be a parent, could be friends, but it could also be a relationship, that your counterpart is still in a relationship and he is not doing well there. There is already a bit of something that your counterpart has kept from you, perhaps also that he has kept from you, that it didn't fully reveal itself to you in this lightness. He might have shown you lightness when you were perhaps in a relationship, had contact with each other. Like this getting to know you side, everything is fine, I'm doing well, but he wasn't. So it was a bit of showing something outwardly that wasn't really the case. And I see that as quite a main theme right now with your counterpart. So maybe more. Everything's fine, everything's great, fantastic, excellent, maybe. This is also with his discontent. I have everything under control and everything's great, fantastic, but it wasn't. He showed you something a bit different. And that's what occupies him or her very much. Because fundamentally, he has quite a lot of worries and quite a lot of sorrow inside. And for some, it's really about separation. And your counterpart also knows that I hear, had the feeling or assumed, has the feeling he can't make you happy. That's his absolutely big issue. if we now look further at what's going on with your counterpart, yes, he or she is also thinking quite strongly about driving you away. He will contact you, but he doesn't know what to say, so he puts the phone away again. And that's the issue. He doesn't know how to explain anything. He feels completely inhibited and keeps trying to push everything away. But it occupies him endlessly. Your counterpart wants to have contact with you again, but he doesn't know how to manage it all. Especially this. What still occupies him, unfortunately, is the external environment. How should he explain it? And I find it very, very unfortunate because your counterpart definitely has a very intense love for you. The love is endless there for you. So really here, in this reading, I say absolutely. Endless, the love for you. And that is his absolutely big issue. Yes, you are his issue. As I said, what occupies your counterpart very strongly is what he has done. Perhaps this impulsive reaction, this separation, this running away, this ending was not what he wanted. And that was also your counterpart. As I said, what is visible with him is that he never really showed himself completely open to you. He couldn't open up to you. These are his issues. There was always somehow someone, as I mentioned earlier, constantly interfering. So, and now it's like this. He knows you are in his heart. And that's also why he adopts this defensive stance, because he can't cope with himself. He has sorrow, tears, he has these inner tears, these worries, this despair as well. Because pessimism is constantly shown to him by his surroundings. And there's also this where he is still stuck, which I personally find very, very unfortunate. This, oh my God, how am I supposed to justify this? Explain it to others. He knows it's you, definitely. But his issue is he still needs to work through it here. Because there is this inhibition threshold with your counterpart. So, now, they know, I have separated, I have ended it. But how do I explain this now? That I am now back together with her or with him? What will be thought of me then? And then it keeps coming up, this is such a trigger point for your counterpart. What kind of trouble might there be then? Or how he or she is perceived? It is very important for your counterpart how he presents and represents himself in public and his actions and how he is then seen. This is a very big issue. But it is such that your counterpart needs to resolve the old matters that have been here. Your counterpart wants to contact you and will contact you. And what we see here in combination, this new upswing, this new orientation, this changes what your counterpart wants to tell you. He is clarifying everything. It is all about clarification here, into the clarification that the old is being replaced. He wants this union, this connection with you again, because he knows you are the one, you belong to him. Your connection is definite. So we have a very, very clear line here. And this is about a solid life partnership. Fact, because he knows you are truly the perfect counterpart for him or her. And he wants that again, but not like it was before. And he wants to tell you that he is tidying up here, resolving his issues. He is dissolving it all. He is clearing up these things, all these entanglements that exist in his environment. And there is a big change to be seen. The big change will completely move into action out of withdrawal in your direction. Because fundamentally, the whole situation stresses him. As mentioned, it might be that he wasn't honest or somewhat used work as an excuse, but it wasn't the work. It was more about the environment. So what is it now? I see your counterpart in transformation, in processing, and he is slowly getting there, or rather has already accomplished a large part, but was quite slow in gaining this trust in himself as well, that he or she can trust themselves. His decisions, because here I see with him this lack of trust. What is he doing? What is right? What is wrong? This, how will I be perceived? Just don't make any mistakes. Very, very, very important. How will I be perceived then? He also wants his environment. Let's just take, for example, parents, but it doesn't have to be. We are in the collective personal favorite show. It always looks completely different. We come in very precisely there. But in the collective, I always have to explain it a bit differently. Yes, this change, he wants to completely replace it all. That will definitely be resolved because he wants to have this freedom outside again, to be able to move freely with you without any kind of plug and play secret. And it doesn't work here and not there. He can't do it anymore there. He feels completely torn apart. And he knows he doesn't want it like this anymore. But he definitely has in his thoughts, in his actions, this is his determination to work through everything, to clarify, to make a clean slate, to then break these chains, these shackles completely so that he can move freely with you, which hasn't always been the case, even if it might have seemed so. But then it was, how should I put it? Deception, false reality. Yes, it wasn't right. So he couldn't come out of himself either. And this will be completely resolved because he wants the union. He wants the connection with you. As I said, the phone often in hand, or it could also be an email, or even that he writes a letter. I have the communication in writing. So I have these words, not just verbally, but also in writing both. And the closeness, because he knows that you are absolutely the perfect counterpart and that you always believed in your love or in your relationship, this connection, this deep affection. And above all, he knows you were straightforward about it. He knows you gave him love, honest, genuine, deep love. Only he couldn't fully take it, couldn't grasp it, couldn't perceive it. That's his issue. And he really hasn't always shown himself completely. I'm not saying he was a complete actor, but we do have a bit of entertainment here with a counterpart. As I said, that's what I want to tell you. He's currently resolving this. He wants to completely eliminate and clear everything here. He will get in touch with you again. Because he often has the phone in his hand now. Or, as I said, he wants to write something because in his thoughts, the contact with you, since the longing is very, very strong, it's also close to the goal. But we are now back in the time issue. And here it means again, there you should find your own confidence if you still want him or her at all. The decision is always entirely up to you. And it is also very important that you let go. Letting go is a huge topic. I know it's not easy to let go, but letting go also means that you are holding on to what once was, but you don't want the whole thing anymore. Let go. Focus on what you really want, even if it concerns the person. Because only then are you in ease, because by holding on, you cling to what was firmly from the past. Yes, and by not wanting it anymore, that's not good either, because then you're holding on to what you no longer want. And the old that it is replaced will be to your counterpart. As I said, you are further along than your counterpart. I can already see your counterpart. As I said, the old is being replaced. I have here the complete cut, the change, the tidying up, the clearing. So now let's see what else we get here. My dear ones, it is wonderful. We have the chariot. The chariot, it will move forward here. We have the forward rush. It can really go very fast. Because the chariot shows a lot of speed here too. And it is also about your counterpart being or is in the process of completely grasping this courage to make everything here clear. You or none. And this free movement with you, no secrets. Nothing more. Oh God, what do I say here? What do I say there? Or what did I say here? Oh my God, should I maybe write a list? To whom did I say what? And this obscuring, this covering up, this secrecy. And that he comes to himself, grasps his self-confidence more. And there he has the courage and goes to see this action with your counterpart, that he really brings new momentum here, that he charges forward. Out of uncertainty into security, he knows he wants you. And he is completely sure, he is certain that he wants you, or she wants you. And it is completely grasped with optimism. And the optimism is also shown because your love for each other will be reborn. Deeper, stronger, loyal love. This commitment. So yes, there is love, but it's just not there. You also live the love between the two of you. The connection, the relationship is also lived in love. What you perhaps didn't do or couldn't do back then. Maybe you did, but your counterpart didn't, because I see them as very blocked. So what else do we have? 10 of Cups. So here with the 10 of Cups, it means belonging. You both belong together. For some, as mentioned collectively, it's about starting a family, because that is what it is. This, as mentioned, for some, it's about starting a family, but also here, this familial aspect, this union, this belonging, the harmony. And you both belong together. Your counterpart knows that. And you both have a good foundation for a shared future. And this good foundation for a shared future is shown here again, in the contact between the two of you. When your counterpart knows that they have found their home with you and they don't want to be anywhere else. And that's why they are clearing everything up here and will get back in touch. They first have to work through everything here. And they will definitely do that because they want you. So you are truly manifested with your counterpart. So you are truly in there. You are right in it. He wants, he knows, he is sure. Exactly. Because this distance has taught him, has shown him that it is you. And the time was needed, this distance, this separation between the two of you. As I said, out of loneliness into togetherness, into harmony. And your belonging to each other is clearly shown here, this togetherness. And this joy, also this ease with each other. And you both will arrive together if, as I said, you also want it. Your counterpart will approach you, and it can be quite rapid, as I said, we have here. And then it won't be so long anymore, okay? Now let's do it again, like back then. Perhaps a longer getting to know each other phase. And then everything drags on in slow motion again. No, it can be really fast. So it can really be so fast that it doesn't take long. And you might get a marriage proposal. Or we move in together. So here, making definite decisions, definitely. Because I see this stability very strongly with you, and that is beautiful. I wish it for you and wholeheartedly grant it to you. I would give you a very warm and tight hug. Goodbye.